You know what it is, Superstar JVIP Saturdays. Got man, the guy that he's all bulked up. I'm trying to show a picture of me and him, and we were like toothpicks. Like,
yeah. Those were the days, man.
Yes, man.
We had big dreams though.
Big dreams. It went everywhere.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Now, how do you feel when people call you a legend right now?
I think they're right.
Very.
Yeah.
All the moves you've made throughout your career has been legendary. Down to and I wanted to ask you this question. Like so many young artists are now, they're their own bosses, but you came in as your own boss.
Absolutely.
And I had I remember it was a bidding war for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and I seen the drink now that I think you're collaborating with Ross.
Yeah, yep.
And you was like, Ross tried to sign you, and you was probably like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Right.
As from the start, did you really confidence wise, did you know that this would be this big for you now?
I never really knew what it would look like getting here, or you know what I mean. But I always knew I wanted to be an iconic artist. I always knew I wanted to, leave my mark in a way that was bigger than just, he got rich and he made it in rap. And, just through music and marketing and branding and social media and the timing of when I came into the game and what was needed at that time. And then, even with weed and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see how it is now.
Touring and, there's a lot of different things that I feel like, the average artist didn't pay attention to throughout their career. Whereas for me, I seen the steps, so I'm like looking at everything. I didn't want to just be, behind the mic. So I just took control of my own destiny and really, mapped it out for myself in a way that nobody could just pull the rug up from up under me.
How do you feel that one of the artists has developed a core fan base? Like a lot of people, I don't think at that time thought that was very important, and it's always been important to you.
Right.
That you have a core fan base with. You've done U.S. tours, you've done overseas tours, and you probably see the same fan one time, like, yo, man, this guy,
real shit.
This person right here has never missed a concert.
Yep.
How important was that to create a core fan base with your music?
It was something that I did unintentionally, but it wasn't something where I was like, I have to have, these fans, blah, blah, because being from Pittsburgh, it was really, it was really difficult to, put my identity out there, let people know, because they're like, well, what the fuck is he supposed to sound like? He's not from down south. He's not from the West Coast. He's not from New York. What does it sound like? What are we listening to here? So it took a long time for that identity to happen. And like you said, just artist development, man. A lot of people don't do that shit these days. They'll just pop off with just a song that's good, and it gets a lot of other people paid. So, it works for the time that song works, but as soon as that's over, there's no real interest or energy there. And I was lucky enough to just go through, the steps and doing radio and, doing promo and rolling out album after album.
I appreciate you. You always do radio.
I always do radio.
No matter how it is.
I do hella drops, man. That shit, the pages be thick as hell, and I do every drop because that's really important. That's how you stay in the game. You know what I mean? And there's just certain ways and formulas that won't change. And for me, just building a brand as opposed to just being somebody's little homie, that was never the goal.
I seen that from the beginning. One of my, and shout out to the queen in the building.
Yeah, my mama.
Yes, I gotta ask you a question. Maybe if I don't know if I can, but you hear her voice. Did you think your son would be this legendary now?
Absolutely.
I knew it. I knew it. Shout out to the queen in the building.
Yep.
One of my favorite records. And I told you this all the time, star of the show.
Thank you.
Yo, and I know you're very in tune to all the young artists, and you listen to their music. You're not a person I'm just listening to Wiz stuff. I've heard you talk about younger artists, and even, and we'll get to that artists that have been on your tour that's become superstars now.
Yeah.
And I see you laughing yo, this is crazy, how this is happening. But now a lot of these young artists are using the samples. And I know that at that time you couldn't clear that Mary J. Blige Love
exactly. Damn.
you.
Yep.
Yo, that would, for a DJ, and no disrespect, I've always played that version.
That one was hard. I love
like
that version.
Love it. And when you said umbrellas, it was a line that started the show. And he was like, well, the people that didn't believe in you now, you know what I mean? You can't come over here.
Right.
And I always felt that motivation on that record.
Thank you.
And I want to play that record, but I want to get into the new records too. We just talked behind the scenes about the 1,000.
1,000 women, yeah.
I kind of relate too, but tell me about that record. And definitely the producer, you know.
Yeah.
It was that Heatmaker, right?
Yeah, no, Hitmaker. Yeah.
Hitmaker, I'm sorry. I'm the Heatmaker.
Hitmaker.
Shout to Hitmaker.
And Saxo Rose is on there playing the saxophone.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, that was just a crazy song. We wrote that just random in a session. It was probably actually 1,000 women in there. But when I heard the hook, it was one we wrote it that night, but then when I took it home and listened to it, I was like, man, this is deep. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So I could have like went really surface level with that song, but I was like, I'm gonna go deeper with this one.
Why?
Just felt that way. Yeah.
Was it personal at one point when you was creating the record?
I think everything that I talk about, well, not I think, but everything that I talk about is a real feeling of mine. And that's what, you know, the Multiverse is about. It's like all of those real feelings.
Yes.
You got me saying that, and then you got me saying, you know, badass bitches on, you know, 3 songs later.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying I'm perfect, like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, if you a player, you'll be like, damn, I don't even need all these girls. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt it. The kids, you know, like, I want to play with kids.
Exactly.
But I don't know, man, Wiz. It's moments that I've been there, if you've been there, and then I just want to come back outside.
Yeah. You know how guys are.
and just the party moments. I feel like I'm going to be 60 just going to parties and hanging out. Like,
I wouldn't mind.
You know what I mean? But you know what it is, Superstar J VIP Saturdays. Wiz Khalifa's here.
Yeah.
Yes, man. Let's talk about it, man. Now, you've been touring with damn near over 10 years straight. And I want to give you, you know what I mean, we talked the flowers and all that, but I want for you to definitely brush your shoulders off that you've headlined tours.
Yeah.
You know, this is not like a spot date. You've headlined tours and you've done it overseas.
Right.
You've done it in the U.S. And, you know, you just said, and I looked at one of the interviews and I was laughing. He was like, man, yo, like, I never knew that Jack Harlow would be this, you know what I mean? And such and drama. And, you know, how does that feel like? And how do you pick certain people to be on your tours?
I do my tours like how I would do like a party or something like that.
It's
like, it's like whoever like I would invite, you know what I'm saying, would throw like a dope party, you know what I'm saying? Like if I was in the crowd listening to them, like this is a vibe right here. And a lot of the times, you know, just the crowds that I'm in, you know, I mess with a lot of art kids, a lot of fashion kids, a lot of, you know, video kids,
a lot of weed,
a lot of just different types. Even people who just start businesses, and you know what I'm saying, they just know how to start businesses with their homies. They do that young, and they listen to my music, so they all gravitate towards the same thing. And the first thing we want to do is give them a really good show, and the second thing that I do is I always give somebody a platform. Like for me, you know, I'm a multi, you know what I'm saying, I'm all over the country or different countries, but some artists are just regional. And if you go on tour with me, you get a chance to, you know, get all of these different
passports
markets.
Are crazy.
Yeah. You're going to all of these different markets and you're performing your record and you're, you know, planting the seeds for, you know what I'm saying, the shit to happen for you later. And a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do that. Like even like a hit record won't take you all over the country. You'll go to like the main regions, like the hot spots, but you won't go to Albuquerque.
Explain to them, man. Let them know. Break it down the jewels, so we can get a nice TikTok clip about how this goes down.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so you're getting in markets like I said, like New Mexico. You're going to fucking Phoenix, Arizona. You're going to fucking Michigan, you're going all over the place, and that's how those artists were broke. You know, creating a fan base in places that wouldn't normally be able to have access to their music. And even before, you know, Jack Harlow is like the last person who came off tour. and blew up. But there was Uzi before that.
Yeah,
and then,
talk your shit.
Yeah, and before that, Joey Badass been on tour with me.
Shout out to Joey.
Kendrick Lamar been on tour with me.
Yes.
Mac Miller. These are legends. You know what I'm saying? Who I've toured with, and the format, it works. The formula works.
Was it? Is it any time that you knew that one of those artists was like? And I know that you would say all of them because they are. But was it one point that you was like, man, this kid's gonna be somebody?
Yeah, I say all of them for real. Like I could see him performing and I could hear, the reaction from the crowd. I think Uzi was really like one of the ones where, cause he was performing like during the daytime with drama.
Yeah,
and it was like, I would say 10 people in the crowd, but it was not a lot of people in the crowd when he was performing. But he went out there and killed it every time, and it wasn't because they weren't there to see him. It was just early as hell in the show, like literally. Right after the doors were open, Uzi was going on. But I knew, like, behind the scenes, like in social media and just in the with the culture with the kids, I knew he was gonna be big. And being able to travel and go everywhere, as soon as he got off of that tour, he dropped his mixtape and then he went on tour with that, and then his whole career just went crazy. Because he had the music, he had the fan base, and he had put in the work.
Now that's crazy. And also, like when you said about certain markets, and I've been DJing, and Pittsburgh is like my second home, like real talk. And a lot of people don't know that I call it the markets that you hot.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, if somebody calls and say, yo, Jay, we need them to come to Pittsburgh, you're hot.
Yep.
And the way Pittsburgh accepts and loves you, and when you go to a Pittsburgh party, it's just nothing but trap. Yeah. It's like I don't think I could get an R&B set in a Pittsburgh
it's
party.
Trapped out. You gotta play Gucci.
You know what I mean? And Waka, all types of stuff like
walking
that.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah, like it's different out there, but it's so diverse that you can go to any state and perform and sell it out.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you too, as far as just seeing all these artists and Taylor Gang, the label you have. Have you ever just wanted to sign one of them, or was like?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to sign a lot of my friends.
Word.
Yeah, sometimes I've ended up managing them. We were able to, work on Ty Dolla Sign's projects for a minute. We were able to work on some Juicy J projects for a minute.
Yes.
And even if we're not like in paperwork, we're always gonna be gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's TGOD, it's Taylor Gang or Die. So like. Anybody who I wanted to work with, whether it's an artist or producer or whoever, if the paperwork didn't go through, it's just because it was paperwork. It's not because we ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that shit don't match up. You know what I mean? And then
is it for you or for them?
Either say they might have a party involved. That's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes oh, okay.
Because they might have signed something with somebody before we even got serious with each other. So it's a lot that goes into that. So if the paperwork doesn't necessarily work out, that's usually what stops somebody who I'm really cool or close with from becoming on the business end.
Do you stop it when it start being strange? And you're like, man, I'm not gonna destroy our friendship because of this.
Yeah, I mean,
paperwork.
I know the difference between like what you want from this and then what you're gonna get out of me, because it's like if you're like, oh yeah, you my man, give me $1 million, that shit ain't gonna happen, bro. Like,
yeah.
But if you're like, yo, I'm trying to release this many projects with you, or do this, and if this works, then blah blah blah, and then this amount of time, like everything's up for negotiation, in my opinion.
So are you willing to sign, because there's so many artists out now, and I know that when you came up, and all of us came up, and I have to salute you because I've always been big on mixtapes. I've been known as one of the biggest mixtapes, but you've never shied away from dropping mixtapes.
Right.
You have classic. You could say if you wanted to go back, I can do a Verzuz mixtape.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I would ask you, who would you do if somebody say, yo, we want to do a fun Verzuz? Who would go against Wiz Khalifa?
Wayne. I think that would be fun.
Woo!
Yeah, because Wayne's a really dope performer. So it's like with him
and you too.
Yeah, I know, but me and him going back and forth performing bangers, that should be hard. And we both smoke hella weed. And I think that would be more like a concert than a Verzuz. So Wayne,
give me another person, because Generate that Double XL was crazy when you was on there.
Yeah. Who else is in my class?
Or just who you would that you feel like you can go against, because class wise,
Yeah. I kind of did that.
Yeah, like, come on, Wiz Khalifa, come on, we got to get Wiz Khalifa Verzuz. Like, you have, like, people don't understand your catalog.
Yeah.
You can sit in a club and be there for, like 30 minutes with Wiz Khalifa records.
Yeah, and I've seen it, and it kind of, I went backwards. I was like, whoa, damn, I still got jams. They still dropping them. Because even performing, I do like 2 hours, but I'm mixing it up. You know what I'm saying? There's transitions, and then there's moments and shit like that. But I do have a lot of music. Kid Cudi, he's like somebody who
I like Kid.
Is like me. You know what I'm saying? We got like a multi-faceted audience. You know what I mean? And then he's got some classic, like, core stuff the same way that I do.
Let's go outside who's not like you, but you know that we gonna get it on.
Shit, I can't even, I don't know.
I mean, Wayne is really a top of the top, you know what I mean?
That's top of the top right there.
Now, with the project now, it's a lot of music. Did you choose to do that, or you just have a bunch of music, you was like, I'm just gonna drop everything?
Yeah, honestly, anytime I start to feel like I want to drop a project, I just start to get the music together and just drop that shit. And normally it's all new music. It's like really recent, you know what I mean? Like stuff that I've worked on in the past like couple weeks or months. And then sometimes I'll dig back in the stash too. I got thousands of songs.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like I can see a Wiz Khalifa hard drive, man.
Yo, you don't even want to see it. It's sickening.
What are you gonna do with it though?
I can't possibly do anything with all of that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, like, I'll probably just, I don't know.
Like the Wiz Khalifa capsules, like, you know what I mean?
I don't know what to do with all of that stuff, yo.
Are you like a perfectionist? Like, I have so much music, but I'm not going to drop this record. I was wilding out on this one.
I know what's heat, you know what I'm saying? So if I make 7 songs, that don't mean I got to release all 7. That means like 2 of them are fucking crazy. And the rest of them, they probably got some good bars. This one might got a good hook. This one might have a good moment. But, I know what's heat.
He said good moment.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about the way that I write, too, is like I don't really hold back. So I just say whatever, I sing whatever, and I let it develop and turn into what it's supposed to. So even if the idea isn't like fully there or complete, you get what I'm trying to go at. So sometimes we could go back and clean that up later, but I usually, I'm so inspired, I'm on to the next thought process.
And this project, like, is even with the title, I feel like the songs are like, you can go here, you can go here.
Right.
Everything is different. Like, the first 3, I was like, all right. Then it was like, then we was grooving, then I'm getting moments. Then it's like, all right, we turn it back up. Like, how do you sit there and put these records together? And I want you to pick one of your favorite records off the project.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite ones is the last song, Praise Him, because that was the first song I did about God. And that was pretty excellent to me because I rapped about so much weed and I never rapped about God before. So I wanted to go ahead and do that. And the album moves, man. It's just it's definitely a vibe and a groove, and that's the main thing that I wanted to do is just provide a consistent groove.
Yes.
And that's how I picked out the beats, and some of the beats were a little bit more raw when I got them, and I actually went in with my band and we just did live shit over it to bring more emotion to it. And that's
different, right? That's different, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm really
that's some rock star shit. Like,
I'm really proud of that, man.
You just talked about it like real smooth. Like, I brung in my band and then we started doing it. So the band is in there in the studio.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wow.
Especially on songs like Candlelight Girl and all that stuff. We did that stuff from scratch. Yeah, literally every instrument played, every melody, chord, all of that is.
So you in there like, nah, more drums.
Absolutely. I don't need these types of drums. I want some drums from Africa. Ooh, put these strings in there right here. Like, saxophone. Call saxo. Get sax. We need a guitar right here. Like, xylophone. The fucking the wind chimes, bro. We had wind chimes in that bitch, dog. Everything on there is real, yo. Like all the sounds.
This is a high moment though when you get in the wind chimes.
Nah, man. Like I love the sound of just chilling in my backyard. It's like a peaceful, serene sound to me.
Wow.
And I know that if I could bring that sonically on an album, I could make you feel like you're in my backyard.
You know what it is, Superstar J, VIP Saturdays. We on a Saturday. Wiz didn't light the room up because, in here you can't really, but I want to ask you, just being from being in New York, and I know you've been in New York a lot, the transition we have where you can go in now buy weed.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting to like a Wiz Khalifa shop on Times Square? That would be so.
There's the cookie store that just opened down there, so shout out to Burner.
Yes, Burner's my guy.
Yeah, and Khalifa Kush will be in the cookie store. 100%.
Khalifa Kush.
Yeah.
Now, how proud are you with, I've seen Burner come here like 8 years ago, and he was like, yo, I got records with Wiz, I got records with Kim, and just him being on the Forbes magazine.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
From weed.
Yeah, it's my best friend.
Yes, from weed, man.
Yeah. They put the right guy on there. I would have been swole if they put some fuck on there. they got the right guy.
How is it, just being a person that represent, the whole weed environment and, and you probably, I don't smoke weed, but I've always heard you and you broke down how weed is. Like, I remember one time on an interview with me, you was like, yo, no, Jay, this is how different weed is. It's not, and this is before like, the bags, because now weed is just popular. Like you might have a bag with Wiz Khalifa dunking the
the designer bags are crazy.
Like, Gary Payton, like, you know what I mean?
I seen a shoe. It was like, nigga was smoking an Air Force One. I was like, all right.
It's like with the weed, it's like mixtapes now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing all the young kids. And
there's a lot of trash in those bags, though. You got to be careful.
But explain to them, man, a real weed smokers, like, give them some pointers.
Stop getting the same weed and naming it different shit. It's all the same weed. Look out for weed with mold on it. There's a lot of that going around.
Now, why? How's it mold?
Because people are just smoking moldy weed. You can look it up on the internet, and you look down at your weed and be like, "Damn, I'm smoking moldy fucking weed."
Moldy weed.
Yeah. You're not even smoking weed, bro. You're smoking mold.
Wow. All right, moldy weed.
Yeah.
Number 3.
And stop smoking blunts.
Okay. Now
immediately. Why? Just cause.
I'm not a weed smoker, so I want to know why.
Yeah. This rule has been in effect for a lot of years, at least 12 years plus.
Yeah, because I know you invented like the I forgot what they. Well,
we didn't invent it, but
No, I mean, but you made it popular.
Definitely. Me and Currency definitely popularized dubs, and we smoke joints like gentlemen. And not to say anything bad about blunt smokers, but the actual blunt is a piece of shit. So we're gonna stop doing that.
We're gonna stop doing that.
Yeah.
And we got your strain, that. And what is that? How does that type of high? Because they be having like descriptions of highs.
Yeah.
So what does your joint give?
I would really recommend it for like non-weed smokers, like people who don't smoke.
So you're
weed.
trying to tell me to smoke weed?
I mean, you're on the list. If you don't smoke, you'll really enjoy this pot, like, because it doesn't fuck you up. It's not gonna give you like a bad weed experience. You're not gonna trip out, and your heart's not gonna start racing. And
that's what happened when a girl was smoking weed and she was like blowing in my face, and my heart started racing.
I mean, you probably just got a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? You needed the weeds to calm you down, but you're not going to eat everything in the fridge. You're not going to go to sleep and forget to pick your kid up from school.
Wow.
This is functioning good-ass weed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about with yours.
Yeah, that's how I'm selling it.
All right. Well, that's what it is. I want to get into another record before you leave. And what projects would you do outside of rap?
I like to act. I like to do comedy.
Oh man, classic movies from you.
Yeah. I love fashion. So
when are we getting? You have so much going on because you are a fly dude, man. Like, when are we gonna? I want to wear the Wiz Khalifa dad hat.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
pretty cool. Designing clothes and wearing clothes are two totally different things.
But you have the insight.
Yeah, no, I could definitely be a really good designer, but it takes a lot of time. Like, that's why people who do it don't do shit else, because it's so time consuming, and like to be in that world, it's a lot of different rules. Not to say that I'm not with them rules, but like I love being a musician and then existing in other worlds. I wouldn't want to give that up and spend all of my time designing clothes. Like I would love to work with the best people, but even with film, like I love film, you know what I mean? So I've been taking these classes and just learning, you know, how to have a different eye and a different approach to, you know, everything that I do, and it translates to
and the
music
martial arts
videos.
you're doing. So
yeah, it translates to music videos, it translates to fucking social media and all of that, and then like you said, the martial arts too.
Big action movie for you?
That's right there on the list. Why not?
And I see you doing your own stunts and all that,
why not?
kicking somebody's ass.
Exactly. We was just talking about this. Just saying tough shit, bro. That's all I'm gonna do. Kick ass and say tough shit.
What's your dream role, or what would be a Wiz Khalifa's TV show?
Probably like a family show, like kind of like what's that show? Fresh Prince.
Okay.
Or
Did you see the new one? I like the new one. I was
it's cool. They switched it up a lot, but I fuck with it. Yeah. But yeah, mine would be like some stoner shit, some fun shit. It would involve kids, and you know, just talk about like current issues and shit like that on how to kind of how you do with the book, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, DJ Lil J.
Something cool, like, you know what I mean? Something like that.
What was your, you know, I got you here, you know, what was your your 5 top black sitcoms? And I'm gonna start mine off. Different World was definitely mine.
Okay. Oh, that's your top? Different World?
No, I'm giving you mine and you give yours.
Martin.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Family Ties was Urkel, right? That's the name of it. I know. I've been knowing all the as days go by. All right,
Family Matters. That's what it was.
See, I said. Oh man,
Family Matters.
Take my card. Family Matters.
You good? I'm gonna go with Boondocks.
Boondocks was legendary.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. Boondocks is hard. Yeah.
Like I think Boondocks gives me the Simpsons weird conspiracy things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of shit. We ain't gonna say, but it was a lot of shit on Boondocks that just came alive.
Yeah, Boondocks was hard. Come on, let's go.
I'm gonna give you this is probably you probably don't even fuck with it. What's Happening?
What's Happening was hard. I was a little too young for that.
Shit, it came on Nickelodeon.
All right, I'm gonna give you. I'll go OG with you.
All
right. Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son was dope.
Sanford and Son was funny as hell.
I really got to understand Sanford when I watched Harlem Nights.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like his comedy.
Yeah, like
yeah.
So now we gonna switch it up with some movies. I'm gonna go with one of my favorite movies would be all right. They giving me the cue, but it's 5 minutes. We're jamming now. So one of my favorite movies, I would say, because I think because of my friends, if I ever got married, I'll say The Wood.
That's a great movie.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that movie. When he got his ass whooped after school. It was so
you know what I mean? He's like, I know I look better than that motherfucker.
He's staring at the clock and the time wouldn't move.
I actually got my ass whooped in second grade by her name was Octavia.
Mm-hmm.
And her older brother, my cousin stole her lunch.
Yeah.
And threw her sandwich on the floor, and she thought it was me.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, watch, my brother's gonna fuck you up.
Beat your ass. Yeah.
And I was looking at the clock, and I swear, at 2 o'clock, we got out at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minutes, and
yeah.
he all he did was hit me and stomp me. He said, "You little," and I
yeah.
But I got tough.
This girl, she was like pushing me. I was in middle school. She like pushed me, and I like hit her back, not hard, but I accidentally hit her in her chest, and she started crying, and her cousins was gonna fuck me up, yo. They was like, and I had in school suspension that day, so I'm sitting.
I did that too.
I'm sitting in school, and they coming up to the door, cracking their knuckles and shit, and it's just like 6 niggas. They're all. I mean, I was in 7th grade. They had to be in 8th, but they look big as hell. I don't know why they look like your size right now. And my friend was like, nah, I'm not letting you get jumped. Like, he went and told the dean.
Man, shout out to him.
Yeah, he was like, nah, y'all ain't jumping my homeboy like that. He's like, I'm not fighting with you. There's too many niggas. But I'm not.
Put it together,
I'm not going to let you get jumped, yo.
We got 2 more minutes. So I'm going to say, you got to give me a movie.
Oh. Black movie. Mr. Society.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Give me a part, man. I ain't gonna front. The legendary part was when she's like, "I'm pregnant."
Oh
like,
man,
it ain't mine.
I like AWAC. So he was like, You should have came to the wax, boy. Yeah, that was my name.
One more for me, and then one more for you. New Jack City.
New Jack City's hard.
Yes,
that one's never going nowhere.
Yeah,
it's classic.
One of my legendary parts is when Wesley Snipes came in and it was he was like,
he was dancing, he was drinking that champagne out the straw.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was like, man, I'd have poked my eye out with a long ass straw.
he was definitely balling at that point because he had the long. Yeah, well, how do you drink champagne? But what? You just got me on that
it's
one.
A long straw, bro.
Yeah, pause on that. One more movie for you, and then we're gonna get to the last record.
All right, one more movie. Classic. Oh yeah, Friday. Yeah.
We.
Yeah. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker.
Okay.
Any Friday, actually, because legends were made off of those movies.
And then your movie, because Dave Chappelle, it was a rendition of Dave Chappelle's movie. Then you and Snoop's movie.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yes, sir.
My God.
Appreciate
Let's
it, bro.
get it, man. Let's get one more song. You pick it.
What jam?
Tell them the title of the project.
The project is Multiverse.
Multiverse. Let's get it.
Yep. It's the album is out now. The video for Memory Lane is out now. There's also a video for Badass Bitches. There's a video for Iced Out Necklace. Excuse me. There's a video for Keys, and there's a video for We Can Get More on the way.
Yes.
So yeah, we've been
visuals.
hella busy.
See, he's out here giving drops. He's doing visuals.
Yes, sir.